We are giving out our own awards for MVP, and we are doing so with our NBA columnist Ken Berger. Perhaps some of your picks are the same. I'm sure many of them are. I'm Lauren Shehadi. We're starting out in Cleveland with none other than the King. When you look at it, any way you look at it, he does it all, and he's going to continue to need to do it all into the playoffs.
No, absolutely. Any way you slice it, you're exactly right. LeBron James is the MVP of this league. There's no question. I mean, you could look at any stats you want. You can just look with your own eyes and see that he's the best player, the one who impacts the game the most on both ends of the floor. You know, adjusted plus minus, any kind of efficiency ratings, and just watching the guy play, you know that he's the guy that every team has to game plan for. Every team has to be aware of him on both ends of the floor. And as Stan Van Gundy said recently, someone's going to have to take this award away from him. Otherwise, he's just going to keep winning it every year.
Sure. And speaking of, Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic beat the Cavs on Sunday. You liking what you see from Dwight?
Yeah, you know, I probably have Dwight higher in my votes that I'm going to submit in a couple of days here than a lot of people do. And I just really have become sold on the fact that his impact on the defensive end is just as important, if not more important, than really anybody but LeBron on the offensive end in this league. I mean, he's going to lead the league again in rebounding and block shots. He's going to do it by a lot. He's far and away the best defensive rebounder in the league. And who knows how many people have not gone in the paint, you know, because they're afraid of him. And, you know, he just is everything that Orlando is about defensively. And the fact that his offensive numbers are not quite there yet, to me that doesn't matter. He's good enough on the defensive end to deserve to be in the top of this discussion.
Ken, answer me something. Dwayne Wade was in your top 5, then he was out, now he's back in. Explain that to me.
Well, you know, I think it has a little bit to do with the fact that Miami has really come on of late. I think the way they are finishing the season, the way he's finishing the season. You know, the reason I was a little suspect of Dwayne early is because he got off to a very slow start. There were some indications he wasn't quite in the best shape. But, you know, it's playoff time, it's winning time now, and he's going to be, you know, one of the best players in the league, whether you look at it, you know, early, late, playoffs, whatever it is. You know, you have to give him that nod on reputation alone. I mean, on my list between 3 and 4, I have Wade 3 and Durant 4. I flip-flopped those. I could have gone either way. But I gave the nod to Wade because he has more assists, he has fewer turnovers than Durant, and as much as Durant has improved defensively, Wade is an elite defender in this league, whereas Durant is just an improving one. You
say he has fewer turnovers than Durant, and that's kind of been the thing that he's been trying to work on, but with the exception of that, he's improved. You got to admit that, just like you said.
No, absolutely. I mean, Kevin Durant, you know, he's arguably the player in this discussion who has taken the biggest jump. I mean, we knew he was going to be a great scorer, but last year he was such a poor defender and struggled defensively both on the ball and off the ball. He really worked on that, and I think, you know, he became, you know, he went from being sort of a, you know, kind of a sideshow or kind of an attraction to being a really dominant player. And a guy who has led that Oklahoma City team to the playoffs for the first time and certainly not the last time.
And you know what, Ken, all the Kobe fans out there are going, well, what about Kobe? You know, you've seen the tiniest bit of injury, tiniest bit of age creep in, but still, at the end of the game, you want the ball in his hands.
No, absolutely. I mean, he's, I believe it's 6 game winners this year, more than anybody in the league, and he still does that better than anybody. You know, the reason he is as low as 5 here, and I think a lot of people will have him in that spot, is just because, as you said, he did get a little older. It showed a little bit. And if it wasn't age, it was the injuries. He struggled all year to stay healthy. He's finally getting a little rest here, taking the last couple of games off to get ready for the playoffs. But Kobe is Kobe. We're going to hear from him in the postseason probably over the next 2 months. So I don't have any concerns about putting him in that group. I think he's deserving of it, and you know, will continue to be deserving of it for the foreseeable future.
Ken Berger, your NBA columnist, right on about these MVP candidates. Check out all his columns online. We'll see you there.